and watched me a while, you know what that means without it even saying it on the display. And that is RPM sensorless. Gotta love these tan boxes. However, RPM sensorless does not mean RPM sensorless. It just means it did not see any frequency. First thing I always check on these things is output voltage. First thing. Because usually when you clear it, it will crank and start right up. But if there's no output voltage, because it uses the Hertz wave from the output voltage to monitor RPM, you'll know where to look. So, pull the panel, make sure you put the breaker back on, set up your meter, and watch for that light. Let's see what we get. So obviously, everything is working right now. Usually, if you're getting that, but yet right now it's making voltage and it starts and everything else, it's gonna need a brush service. And you know the biggest problem with these tan boxes is the fact that they're usually all rotted out, and taking off this panel without cutting the bolts is the tricky part. But for right now, she makes power. I'm gonna beat it up, make sure she holds the power, because obviously the AVR is working and everything else is working. And then I'm gonna recommend the brush service. Hopefully I don't have to do it. Hopefully they scrap this thing, because I really hate fixing these things. Even though I'm probably the only one out there that will fix them. I'm just getting tired of them. So let the spanking begin. And if you didn't know how to make these things run and transfer and work, you pull number 10. Contact. somebody asked this question on Facebook or something. And this unit just did exactly what his issue was. The fact that this thing was faulted, and while I was testing it, it decided to go into exercise mode. It locked the transfer switch engaged. It would not retransfer until I cycled the rocker. Then it disengaged the transfer switch. So that was a major flaw with one of these tan boxes. If you ever tested it or you ever lost power during an exercise cycle, it will not retransfer when it shuts off. But everything else is working. So now that the fault is cleared, and now that it's running and making power, now everything's working right. I made the mistake of letting this happen once to me, and I walked away from the unit. Didn't realize, because there was no outside light on or anything, that it never retransferred. Yeah, the Water Authority wasn't happy about that one. Oh, and a couple side notes on that thing. Yes, it is normal for the voltage to climb as there's more load put onto that, because it's a mechanical governor, and also on a mechanical governor you're supposed to set it at 62 hertz. Well, 61 and a half, 62 hertz. So this way when the load is applied, it will keep it above 60 or right around 60. So everything is properly adjusted on that. But yeah, you will see the voltage climb on all tan boxes as you increase the load on them. I don't know why they do that, but it is puzzling. So a lot of times you got to adjust them a little on the low side to anticipate how much load is actually going to be on the unit, so you're not over the voltage. Yeah, so just keep that in mind.